And let's get making sure that this video is gonna hold the tape the whole time. Um, Today I'm gonna be talking about things I want to see more of, and the first thing is I got to do more of these videos. You know, because I believe that there's a lot of people out there that go through the same things and probably listen to the same things and think about the same things. So if I'm, think about the stuff that I'm thinking about and I think it's important, why not share it? Because if I'm thinking about it, somebody else is probably thinking about it. And I heard something that a lot of times all you need is the support of just one other person, just the support of one other person, and it can skyrocket, productivity. It's because when you're out there, you know, playing, if you're not, if you have, a reason why, it makes things a whole lot easier. And I want to see more of I would like to say common sense, but I guess they're really, when it comes to like common sense and whatnot, it doesn't come to the same thing all the time. You can't look at it like that. Because what makes sense to one person makes no sense to another. So how can anything be common? Neither here nor there. What's the big deal anyway? I like to put everything in like basketball analogies, right? Because I'm a hooper. And what you do in one portion or section of your life, you're going to do like the same thing in every section or portion of your life. I'm talking about like people who make smart plays or hustlers or perfectionists, and there's the other spectrum too. But we're not talking about the things I don't want to talk about. We're talking about the things I do want to talk about. And things I want to talk about is the people like out there, practicing and doing the little extra things that nobody wants to do to be that much better. Um, but you don't do it just one time. You do it over and over and over and over and over. Uh, for instance, like around New Year's every year, people want to like get in shape and they make their New Year's resolutions. So they go to the gym, and there'll be a big like gym spike in memberships and stuff like on the end of the beginning of the year. Because everybody wants, like I said, do those diets and whatnot. Okay, great. Now, and then come, like the second quarter of the year, everybody falls off and they're not doing what they said they wanted to, right? Same thing, you know, in other aspects or portions, you know, um, of life, and uh, like quitting on plays and not getting back on defense and just like um, not making the extra pass, um, or trying to do too much, or There's a system, and I understand that everybody wants to get theirs, but there's rules and procedures that help things go along, that help you to get better. And one of those things is practice, right? And getting back to what I was talking about, when you go and you're practicing something, you have to, like, once you put that thing in your bag, you should keep on practicing that thing over and over and over again, so you're getting better and better and better every time. And you got to keep everything sharp. When you want to get really good at something, they're saying you need at least 10,000 shots, or whatever you want to do. You got to put up your 10,000 shots to become really great at something. So that starts with 1,000. You know what I mean? And then 1,000 starts with 100. 100 starts with 10. Okay. And are we talking about you want to make 10 shots, or are you just putting up 10 shots? Because I'll hear a lot of people be like, oh yeah, I put up so many shots, at the gym or whatever. I'm like, hey, did you put up those shots, or did you put those shots in? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how are you counting, on the next thing? It's like, when you take things away from yourself, your hustle, your ability, if you're giving yourself, shortcuts and stuff like that, you're only selling yourself short. It'd be like cheating, like when you do those things, you're just selling yourself short. So when it comes to practice, if you go in there and you do it one time and you think you're good with that one time, yeah, it's fine. But what about what about when you have this, or what about when you have that, or something else is going on, or what if someone hurt your hand and you're not being able to do something that you normally be able to do? Are you just as good with your left hand as you are with your right hand? You gotta start asking yourself those types of questions if you want to be that good. And it just is what it is. Practice makes perfect. So when I go into the gym and stuff like that, and I'm hooping, I want to, and I say I made so many shots after that day. So I guess because I made those many shots, not because I put those many shots up. There's a big difference, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the other way, because you still have to get that motion, right? And that's repetition, being able to do that over, muscle memory and stuff like that. And as you build the muscle memory, of course, with repetition, anything's going to get more precise. It starts going through the hoop more, and your percentage going higher, and everybody's happy. So, with that being said, more practice, for me too. And that's on these videos, and if you are a viewer and you want to get started on something that you haven't started on yet, just start and don't stop. You know what I mean? Just keep it there, because it's not going anywhere. You can always go back to something. Just because you put something down for a little bit because you don't have the attention span to keep that thing going on, doesn't make anybody anything less. It actually makes them more, because they're smarter, because they're able to put things down and then compartmentalize it, move on to something else, do something else that they're interested in, and then they come back and they find inspiration in something else that they were doing, and it helps out with this. So, and then again, that goes to the bigger round from the start of the video to the end now, you know, what you do with one portion of your life is going to affect, you know, everything when it all comes down to it, because you just got to be on it. You got to be a hustler, you know, you got to be doing your thing. So go out there and do your thing, be the best person you can be. And I'll see you out there. This Chief and I'm out.